Sailor Tarot Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader. Known as the Nurturing Reader at New Jersey street fairs, you can also check out her YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as her Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.
BTDY Racing League here live tonight at Chicagoland Speedway for race number 3 out of 20. We've got 120 laps here tonight and a minor little setback. We had some issues with the setup here tonight, so we're kind of all over the place. We're getting everything set up. Guys are out qualifying. Some guys still running and qualifying to try to get that extra practice. But I'm here tonight alongside a very excited Alec Martinez and Alec. BTDY Racing Series. They're adaptable. They overcome obstacles. This shouldn't be a big deal for these guys to be able to overcome the situation with the setup.
Well, it might not be a big deal, but the big thing here for tonight, Chicagoland, it's such a great racetrack. Appreciate you having me up here, Bradley, as always. Tonight, man, we love Chicago. We saw the race on Saturday from the Saturday Night Racing League, one of the best races I've seen on our racing in a hot minute. This track temp about 97 degrees. Outside temperature is looking at about 73 degrees. So the track is warm, and it's only going to get hotter throughout the day here. And I'll tell you what, the biggest curveball that these guys might have, like you said, the gearing was messed up. So everybody had to get out of their session. Somebody had to step in. They had to remake the setup. And then these guys, if you're familiar with the current NASCAR world, they only got 15 minutes of practice. And then that was all they got. Then they went out and qualified. So in just like real NASCAR that we see today, they're going to have very limited track time, let alone track time with multiple cars in the whole entire field on the racetrack. This most likely might be one of the more wild card races this season because of the limited practice. So Ben Baffert has put it on the pole. I don't believe anybody else is going to take a lap. But this race is going to be mixed up completely. I mean, you got guys, Joshua Abbey qualified 4th, Alan Dice 7th. I mean, these guys qualified really well. And then we talk about guys in the points. Jeff Wright, your points leader, qualified 9th. Bailey Turner, the first winner of the year, he qualified 15th, and Adam Cabot qualified 16th. We expect those three to be the guys up at the front, but this race is going to be very interesting to see. And another big thing with limited practice, nobody got a long run. So when you're going to, and we know BTDY, it tends to have some green flag racing. These drivers are going to have no idea what this car is going to drive like 30 to 35 laps into a run because they just haven't had enough track time and enough track experience. So this race for sure is going to be a wild one. I would expect there to be a little bit of a carnage probably in the beginning. Guys getting used to racing on the setup and getting used to racing these cars on the first mile and a half of the season. We talked about it. It's been 2 seasons since these drivers have been on a mile and a half with the next gen race car, and now they're coming back with limited practice and a totally different setup than what they've seen in the last hour. So this is going to be a very interesting race.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it, but we're getting down track side. 39 seconds left in qualifying, and that means it's time to take you down on the grid. Let's bring it up to you right here, starting on the pole with a 30.685 here tonight. It's Ben Baffert with the fastest lap time, getting that pole award. Keith Mayato about 0.02 of a second off of that time. He's going to start outside in the front row. And then the second row, Angelo Huronis with Joshua Abbey in 4th. 5th spot, AJ Stravato with Brody Hayes in 6th. 7th, Alan Dice, Ray Massey 8th. And rounding out your top 10 here tonight is Jeff Wright and Joshua Banks. I have no audio from Alec Martinez. 11th position,
sorry,
Ryan Gimmel. You good?
Yeah, we're good. Sorry, Ryan Gimmel starting to left. Good to have him back. Dallas Sullivan, 12th. 13th was Kyle McGarvey there in row number 7. Cody Atkins, 14th. Row 8 holds Bailey Turner and Adam Cabot. The Magic Man, row 9 holds Ryan Shelton, Dennis Faircloth. Then starting up in 19th, row number 10, Nick Starling and Yusuf Ghali.
21st position is Gary Sexton with Chris Simard in 22nd. 23rd, Dennis Steele with Nathan Ostrowski in 24th. 25th, Jacob Locklear with Eric Hutton in 26th. 27th, Max Koss, Jeremiah Vincent 28th. And then rounding out the top 30 is going to be Noah Mikowski and Lane Salfridge.
And Robert Gilmore and Brett Baldet be rounding out the final row. So
we've got 32 cars here tonight. It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a good one. These guys are going to be slipping inside and using all the racetrack there is. Now, I got to ask you, Bradley, before we get to rolling on pace laps, who is your pick to win this race?
Ah, man, it's such a wild card here tonight. I really, I would like to guess that I know what I'm talking about because we've watched this league now for, 3 consistent seasons? But I really have no clue, so I'm going to just, I'm going to go with Jeff Wright. He's very fond of this racetrack. He did really well Saturday, so I'm going to go with the 48 to Jeff Wright.
Jeff Wright, I like it. You know, he was fast last week and caused a wreck. But I think him starting on the pole, you give this guy clean air. I don't think he's the guy you want to have get clean air. With Ben Baffert, he's going to be fast. Keith Mayato, also good to have up there. But I'll tell you what, he was fast last week, had a penalty early. I think this week he cleans it up. I think Brody Hayes is going to bring her home a winner. I know we talk about him being good on short tracks, but I think he can get it done on a mile and a half.
Lights are out on the pace car. Going to get ready to go green this time by the 23 of Ben Baffert. Is going to lead him into turn 1. I believe that's a Ford F-150 front end on that machine as well.
don't really know what that is, but
Is that a Mustang? I don't know. It's a different look to the front end of that car.
it is very different for Ben Baffert. But here we go. Pace car's off, and the Sailor Terrell Magic 180 is underway from Chicagoland. 120 laps of racing from BTDY.
And the lead lap number 1, it is Baffert, but he's got 3 wide for the lead. And the excitement with Hronis down to the bottom. My auto to the outside.
How about Angelo Hronis getting out to the lead early? Hronis takes the lead about 2-3 car lengths from Keith Maiato, the leader. The pole sitter, Ben Baffert, falls all the way back down to 3rd, maybe even 4th, because here comes Alan Dice to the outside. A heck of a run so far from the 5. Hayes and Jeff Wright starting to close in. Behind Wright, it is a hornet's nest. AJ Stravada, Ray Massey, Bailey Turner, Jeff Wright, Joshua Abbott. Look at all these guys under a blanket. And then you got Yusuf Ghali, Ryan Shelton, Cody Atkins, three abreast there, and from about the 17th position on already. Very, very aggressive racing early.
Will we have it any other way? These guys with no practice looking really, really good. Not getting into each other. 3 wide again and 3 and 4 here. You've got the 24 of Turner in the center. Coming off the exit of 4. Able to get that position and clear the 35 of Joshua Banks. Now up to 9th. 3 wide behind him with Cabot. Abby on the outside. The 05 trying to hold it up there. They make quick work of that. The 17 of Cabot. Looks like he's on the move here. 6 positions up for where he began this race.
He really is that. Number 17 Atlas Chevrolet Camaro is on the move. He's got Bailey Turner, who started on the same row as him, just 2 spots up ahead. Ray Massey on the outside of Bailey Turner. Cabot looking to take him 3 wide. He'll put back in the line behind the 32. Then almost a little contact with the 35. Remember, next-gen cars, composite body, can get away with a little bit of contact here. But now 3 wide. Bailey Turner slides up the racetrack. 3 wide off the corner. Ray Massey going to get stuck in the middle. Cabot gets the 2-for-1 special off the turn number 2. Now with 3 wide still. Massey out Banks to the outside. He'll get the 2-for-1 special. Abby trying to follow in suit. Sullivan, McGarvey, Ghali, and Atkins, 4 of them behind this battle. Banks looks to the outside. Turner goes to cover. Up at the front, though, Roan is still in the lead. Then you got Keith Maiato and Alan Dice is trying to get second away from the 36.
Our pole sitter, Ben Baffert, has fallen back to 7th position after starting with kind of a rough lap there to start out this race. He's got the 33 on the outside, and we're riding on board here with the number. Well, here we go. Let's transition to this camera. We're on board here with Ben Baffert right now. There's so many different aspect ratios here with these cameras tonight.
And Ben, I've seen the strategy out of him before. He's going to try saving tires, and wow, we finally got a Ben Baffert count. I never thought I'd see the day. But yeah, very focused. You see how focused he is. Right now, he's just trying to save his tires because he knows we don't know what a long run's going to see out of these cars.
It's still 3 wide back here, just outside the top 10. It's a hornet's nest. Less than 4 seconds separate this field, and Angelo Hronis has led 6 laps.
I'll tell you who's feeling himself right now. That is Alan Dice. He's up to 2nd. He is having so far a career day on the 1.5 miles. He is trying to chase down Angelo Hronis, but don't look now because here comes the Magic Man, Adam Cabot, from 16th to 3rd. But Jeff Wright, his teammate, going to try to follow behind him, try to push him by. Keith Wright, never mind. He'll go 3 wide up in the middle here. Here we go, 3 wide for 3rd. Cabot shuts the door right into the corner.
A big door shut. That was slam shut right in front of the 48. I don't know how they didn't spin each other. I know that this car is a little more resilient than the other cars that we drive. The Gen 4, I don't think it would have worked with that one.
Yeah, it's just going to be interesting behind them as certain guys have fallen back. Sullivan and Massey side by side. That's for the 10th position. Then Turner, Banks, Travato still going at it. That's for about the 6th, 7th, and 8th position. And then here we go, battle for the 5th position. Brody Hayes and the two VSPEED teammates, Keith Mayato up on the outside, or excuse me, on the inside. Hayes up on the outside here, trying to get that run, use that momentum down the front stretch. Adam Cabot just tagged the wall there off of turn number 2. Trouble down the back. There's Ryan Shelton, just got like 4 spots. Dallas Sullivan up on the apron, has to come back off of the apron. Now he's sideways. I'm not sure if there's a problem with that 46 car, but right now losing a lot of spots.
We'll go back on our instant replay and see what happened here to the 46. Looks like he got a little bit of help there by Ben Baffert, maybe.
Yeah, looks just like it. Heck of a save there.
Running to the inside of Yusuf Ghali.
Yeah, just gets a little bit loose there off the corner. Oh man, that should have been a way bigger.
He never got touched.
There.
Yeah, I don't think he ever got touched by Baffert.
No, he didn't. Could have been a big wreck there down the backstretch. I'll tell you what, though.
There's a car spinning down to the inside. That's McGarvey.
Is that McGarvey and Joe? Oh, we got one car upside down. It's Dennis Faircloth on his lid, and he still slides down the front stretch upside down. And the first flip of the year comes in Chicago, but Dennis Faircloth turtled upside down on the front stretch.
94.
As Charlie's got a broken toe link, he is up. He's stuck on the inside. Heavy damage to Nick Starling, and Faircloth gets out of the car, but upside down was the 80 car down the front stretch.
McGarvey, they kind of swerve to avoid it, but these guys, as they avoid it, lose control.
Yeah, Chris Samard caught up in it. Locklear caught up in it. Robert Gilmore goes to avoid on board with Dennis Faircloth here up ahead. Somebody gets loose up on the top.
That's McGarvey, I think.
Yeah, McGarvey, and then here, really nowhere to go. They start going on the front stretch and nowhere for Faircloth to go. Pretty much jumps over the 97 of Locklear and launches that car upside down. And then
Did Gary
Faircloth
Sexton get a piece of that? I think Sexton just escaped it.
Oh yeah, contact from Locklear and Faircloth. Oh, Nick Starling, a hard hit to the outside. Then you see the 80 car jump up over the rear quarter panel of Jacob Locklear, sending that car upside down and then just skidding along the asphalt on its roof there. And that first caution of the evening is going to come out. And boy, oh boy, do we have strategy games already. Dice brings it in, Wright, Turner, Banks, Hayes, Massey, and a few others also bringing it in here. Really going to split this strategy up as your leader, Angelo Ronis, stays out.
Down
only 4 tires.
Jeff Wright, look at him. He's right sides only, I believe. He's going to win the battle off pit road, maybe?
It's going to be close. Was that? I think Jeff took 4. I think you got to take 4.
Yeah, he took 15.
Yeah, no,
he's got 15 in the box there. It looked like he only had the right sides up, but that car was so pitched there in the almost a 90-degree angle in his stall.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man, Alan Dice, he's got a real shot at winning this race. He's fast, and I'm glad to see that. I know these other guys are starting to figure it out, but Alan Dice has got speed tonight, and he's got a really good chance of possibly, upsetting this race. He started 7th, was running inside the top 2 that last run, so I think he's definitely got a possibility. But right now, from what I'm seeing, the first 10, I believe, stayed out, so this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, from Angelo Horonis back to Jacob Locklear.
That strategy's not going to work, I don't think.
And
they're going to fall
was
back.
Involved in that accident as well.
He was, yeah. Interesting strategy. Noah Mikulski stayed out. Ryan Shelton in that jockey red, white, and blue car. Ben Baffert stayed out. Mayato. The top 3 stayed out. So it's going to be interesting. They're going to fall back. The 15 laps of fresher tires are going to be massive here tonight. So good. Interesting to see strategy. There's 4 tires in the pits, so these guys now have 3 sets laying around at pit road, where the guys that stayed out still have 4. Their big hope would be 10 laps of green flag racing. Caution comes out, they come on in and get their tires, and then have the advantage flipped for what would be the 3rd run of this race. So lower under caution, who should we pull up?
I'd like to talk to the number 5 of Alan Dice if you can.
Well, let's talk to Alan Dice. Let me see if I can get him up here. I don't want to jinx him. Let's get him in here. Alan Dice, Bradley Cooper, Alec Martinez in the VSPEED booth. Got a copy, buddy?
How's it going?
It's going pretty good, buddy. That number 5 Affinity for Gaming car is all in the mail. You look like a real contender here tonight. How are we feeling for the rest of this race?
I don't know where that came from, man. The car just feels good. So it just felt right. I went around people on the outside. There was speed there if you could manage the bumps, and yeah, it felt great. So we'll see what these new tires can do.
Hey, it's good to have you back, man. It's good to see you up at the front, man. Well, go get him. Good luck for the rest of this race, and keep her clean.
Thanks, bud.
All right, see ya. That's Alan Dice, Affinity for Gaming, Chevrolet Camaro. Man, I think there's a real shot, real possibility he can get there. And, you know, while we're under caution, let's get Dennis Faircloth, who claims our first flip of the evening, or first flip of the year. He's in the infield care center. So we pull it. Dennis Faircloth, you got a copy, buddy?
Thankfully, yeah, I'm good.
Well, buddy, a big wreck. You end up on your lid. What was happening? Did you have anywhere to go?
I don't think so. I came off turn 4. I saw Kyle down on the apron, and I thought everything was good. I think me and Jeremiah touched a little bit, nothing crazy. But then next thing I know, I see. I don't even know what I see. I just know that someone came across in front of me, and then as soon as I got hit, I was upside down, and I was hoping it would roll back. But I towed it, and the crew chief said I had like 8 minutes of required repairs. So yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate there for the guy who never anybody. But we'll hopefully see you next week for Rockingham.
Yeah, maybe I can keep it on all fours.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, have a good night, Dennis. Appreciate you being here. That's Dennis Faircloth involved in that last wreck on lap number 13 as green flag back out. And we're back underway. Angelo Ronas leads us to green. Great restart from the 29 car. Now they're side by side behind them for second. Cabot, Mayato, then Shelton, Bafford. Guys with fresh tires are going to start making their moves. Jeff Wright takes it 3 wide with Locklear. Oh, Locklear gets dummy out the corner, squeezed almost up into the outside wall. That's for about the 10th position. But so far, Ronas leads him into turn 3, but those fresh tires are going to be coming.
Yeah, fresh tires on Alan Dyson's machine. He's up on the outside. Jeff Wright also with fresh tires. These guys going to mow down this top 10. One car at a time here for Jeff Wright. Dennis Steele, the next victim in front of him. And we talked about 15 laps, and they were all under greens. So these tires were definitely up to temp. They were definitely getting worn. Angelo Ronas, so he's pulled out about 0.3 of a second. As Adam Cavender, Keith Mayato are side by side.
And how about these newcomers, these new faces up at the front? Dennis Steele, no, he gets loose right in front of Jeff Wright. Wright has to check up. Should allow Dice to have a massive run. But up front, look at Ryan Shelton, Noah Mikulski, and Jeremiah Vincent, new players up inside the top 10. Actually up inside the top 7 here, battling for positions. Jeff Wright, Alan Dice really haven't made up much track position. I think track position, from what I can tell, is very important.
On board here, and this is the landscape mode or portrait mode of the camera, but it is Noah Mikulski on board. We'll eventually get all these guys sorted out. We'll try to get all their A-spec ratios correct. But one thing at a time. We're just happy to have cameras on board with these guys tonight.
Yeah, great to have cameras. Good to have the number 03, I should say. Car, the 03 Chevrolet, I should say, the Stroll Auto.
Oh, some blocking going on back here.
Banks.
Brody Hayes on Banks, blocked him all the way down the backstretch.
Yeah, Wright gets by Bafford and Vincent. Remember Bafford, Vincent on older tires here, making you wonder who's going to be able to kind of work their way up to the front. Jeff Wright, last week's winner and the reigning champion, looking for championship number 2, goes underneath Ryan Shelton for 5th, but Shelton using that outside lane should prevail with momentum right in the wake of the 03. Behind them, contact, Brody Hayes and Jeremiah Vincent threading the needle off of turn 2 as well. Joshua Banks kind of slid up, and then there was almost an incident off of turn number 2. Look at Hayes run it to the middle. Woo! That's threading the needle right there.
Yeah. That's about as close as it's going to get here with netcode.
Yes, it is. These cars are a lot better when it comes to that netcode situation. Jeff Wright loses the nose in the wake, and he almost bounces up into the 03. Might I point out, these cars do not like to be behind one another. The dirty air from these cars is big. Trouble, Mikowski! Loose off the corner! Man, Wright absolutely putting him in. Look at this. 3 wide, Baffert and Hayes take him all the way down to the apron. Now this allows Dice and Shelton to get by. But man, oh man, what could have been a massive incident. These guys keep it clean and green. Turner also poking his way up into the fight. Banks, Dice, 3 rows. Now Baffert takes him 3 wide to turn 3.
Even down to the bottom is your pole sitter, the 23 of Ben Baffert, now scooting up the racetrack, trying to keep it down there. Car into the wall, that's Yusuf Ghali, and now 3 wide with Ray Massey.
And Massey takes him 3 wide, now expect 2 wide up ahead of them. Baffert, Hayes, and Turner's 3 wide here. That's going to be for about the 8th, 9th, and 10th position. Hayes just washes up the track, makes a little contact with the 23 car. No harm, no foul. Battle for the lead, Adam Cabot trying to get by his teammate Angelo Ronis. He will. Ronis loses the clean air and the lead. That allows Mayato and Wright to close up. Now side by side for second, side drafting from the 36. Mayato trying to get second away. Cabot to the lead. Wright up in fourth, trying to get third away. Now to the inside comes Wright and Mayato. Mayato takes that line away. You can see Jeff Wright struggling in the dirty air. Slides up the racetrack. Now Alan Dice down looking for fourth.
Dice has been patiently picking through this field. The rest of these guys have really been pushing the issue on these tires. Hronis has got those 15-lap-old tires, though, and I mean, it was inevitable. We knew that that was going to happen.
Yeah, Hronis really starting to struggle here as Cabot, Mayato, and Wright might not have much else to say. Wright now looks down to the inside, 3 wide here for the lead. Cabot on the outside, Wright all the way on the bottom, Mayato in the middle. Cabot just clears for the lead. Wright and Mayato side by side. How about Alan Dice now closing up into the picture? Still side by side for second. Wright on the inside, just drifting up. Man, that back end sliding around. He'll wash up a little bit.
Dice taking him 3 wide.
Dice 3 wide for second. Banks closing up into the picture. But how about Alan Dice? A career day so far. They both slide up the racetrack. Dice has to back out of it.
Way up there.
Cabot's
going to lose those speed here. He's going to lose the lead.
Dice really loose off the corner. He'll lose a few spots. And Jeff Wright, the reigning champion, to the lead.
So what a move there by Dice. And then he gets loose. Heck of a move by Wright to go 3 wide with Mayato and take over the lead.
Yeah, great move there from Jeff Wright, and then behind them,
leading on the 35 of Banks.
Yeah, Banks and Mayato really going at it. Here comes Bailey Turner, Brody Hayes, who also have fresher tires. Bailey Turner gonna be aggressive.
Far down in the grass, that's Dennis Steele.
Steele in the 28 is around. And he's all good, no caution.
So we're gonna keep it green on lap 29 as they come across.
Jeff Wright really hasn't been able to pull away from what I can tell.
And look at all the different lines that are coming through 1 and 2. You've got all the way outside for Cabot, all the way at the bottom for Wright. Banks, Mayato in the middle.
Great move there from Joshua Banks. He'll get second. Mayato almost lost it off the corner. Hayes loose underneath Cabot. Cabot just taps the outside wall. But here comes Joshua Banks looking for the lead on Jeff Wright. Right now, all on the outside. Banks now looks low. Hayes trying to get by. Adam Cabot for third, he will. Now Turner trying to follow suit, won't be able to. But now we got a battle for the lead. Banks pulling even with Jeff Wright. They make a little bit of contact down the back stretch, side-wrapping each other. And now Banks slides up the racetrack, almost gets into him. And now we got a caution out on the racetrack. It looks like, Nathan Ostrowski. And it looks like Kyle McGarvey. And is that Max Cost also caught up our second caution of the night?
62-63. Ostrowski, heavy damage on the left side.
That toe link is broken. Very similar to what we saw what happened to Ryan Blaney this past Sunday in the Cup race at Texas. That car is bent in ways that it shouldn't go. And that'll bring out a second caution and probably be night over for Nathan Ostrowski in the 41 car. Oh, yeah. Loose off the corner, and then, he got drilled by Max Koss down the backstretch.
Koss was so committed to that line, nowhere to go.
Yeah, absolutely nowhere to go. Now, we talk about if these guys win about 10 laps, how long do they go? And now, do they pit and burn off another set of tires? And it looks like they will, no, they won't now. Nowhere for Max Koss to go. Absolutely killed the left side of Nathan Ostrowski. And now, if we cut to live, we talked about the guys that stayed out, trying to get fresh tires. Guess what? This caution, just perfect. And all the guys that just came in, well, they're going to have to bite the bullet and stay out. And that brigade is led by Keith Maiato in the 36. So now the top 11 cars, top 13 cars, will be on older tires, and now the guys that from 14th on back will have newer tires. Gary Sexton taking 2 tires, going to try to get some track position here. Adam Cabot gets out, then it goes Maiato, Ronis, Shelton, Baffert. Then Mikulski and McGarvey still in pit road as well as Brett Baldeck, Jeremiah Vincent, and a couple others. So they'll have fresh tires. We'll be able to be on the attack here, but going to have to start deep in the middle of the field here, and it's going to get interesting to see. We're going to see a lot of different tire strategies and tire games here.
While we're under caution, I believe we can pull up the number 35 of Joshua Banks. In his perspective, we know that the tires and everything, the strategy is kind of out the window.
Let's see. Joshua Banks, Bradley Cooper, Alec Martinez in the VSPEED booth. Got a copy, buddy?
I got you, buddy. What's up?
Well, Jeff, I don't know if Jeff Wright's just faking you out here, buddy. Good to have the camera with you. I got to ask you, there's different tire strategies going on here. Running in second, but if this race goes green to the end, how are we feeling for this next run?
I'm feeling good. I didn't pay attention to who did pit. Probably the guys who stayed out that last caution. So they're going to be on better tires for sure and working through the field. So they're going to be on an advantage that way. But it's hard to say. You're asking the wrong guy really for strategy because you've seen it in the past of how my strategies work. So I'm just sticking with some of the guys that I know who finished well with strategies and just going by them. But really, we're doing pretty good. I like the way the car's going, and hopefully we can just hold this front pack, and hopefully the guys with fresher tires will not run us over.
Now, let me ask you, do you think this Mac Tool Chevrolet has what it takes to win this race tonight?
I will say, I want to correct you, Alec. It's Matco. It's not Mac.
Mac O'Teals. My apologies. I'm so used to shorting it. Mac O'Teals.
It's all good. I feel quick. Brody and Bailey were kind of, taking their time, though, so I know they're pretty quick as well. And Jeff, obviously, quick here as well. So it's going to be some hard work. Definitely tough to pass, especially on a longer run. Definitely the outside's where you want to be to defend. So hopefully we can get around them and get to the front. We're going to try to do our best, man. I hope we can do it.
All right, well, we wish you the best of luck, Josh. Good luck, and go get them.
All right, we're going to try, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right, appreciate you, brother. That's Joshua Banks, driver of the Matco Tools Chevrolet. I appreciate him correcting me on that. Then
you don't even know what Matco's on? Like, you didn't know that? You didn't know that?
Yeah, I did. I'm so used to Mac Tools. I always thought it was Mac Tools, but that's my bad. You got all the different companies, Snap-on and all of them. So
yeah, you can't mistake them. Snap-on.
Yeah, can't
I'm pretty sure you get a cease and desist if you get them wrong.
That's probably true. So as the front row lines up, Jeff Wright to the outside lane. So that'll be interesting to see. But Banks inside on the front row. Then row 2's got Turner and Hayes, then Dice Golly. I haven't really talked about Yusuf Golly tonight. He's running well inside the top 10. So definitely going to be interesting. Ray Massey, AJ Stravado, and then how about Ryan Gill and Eric Hutton? But now they're in a very vulnerable spot here. They're going to be one of the last few cars on older tires here. So they got about 15 laps of green flag racing.
Just want to point out Eric Hutton up 16 positions from where he began this race. So he's climbed outside the top 20 up to the top 10. Stellar performance thus far for only 34 laps into this race. But Jeff Wright going to lead him into turn 1, elects to take the outside. Lights are out on the pace car, and it's going to make that left-hand turn to bring us back green for the third time here this evening. Chicagoland Speedway back here live. The Sailor Terra Magic 188. And we're live and racing. Green flag is out.
Bailey Turner got a heck of a jump there, but to push his teammate out. Can Turner get by? But Wright doesn't seem to.
3 wide for the lead.
Restart. Yeah, look at this. 3 wide for fourth, that's going to be Hayes, Dice, and Golly. These guys battling all over this racetrack. But now what will the fresh tires be able to do? Gimmel really loose off the corner. Mayato, the first one to make an aggressive move 3 wide middle. That's back in the pack for about 10th, 13th with with Dallas Sullivan and Joshua Abbey up on the outside lane. These guys starting to force the issue. Oh, Dice really loose up at the front. He's under pressure from Stravato and Eric Hutt, Ray Massey as well. But the top three seem to go Wright, Turner, Banks, and then Hayes, Golly, top 5. But the new tires starting to make their way up to the field. Oh, Wright Gimmel already to the outside wall. Big wreck, Angelo Rodas, Ben Baffert get caught up in it. And
That's gonna bring out a yellow
to the infield. Kyle McGarvey involved, and a couple others sliding to the infield, and looks like Jeremiah Vincent also caught up. And a big wreck on lap 34 of this race. A hard hit. He got loose, and he did the next gen snap head on into the outside wall.
I want to figure out the number 6 of Ryan Gimmel gets involved as well. These guys 3 wide. Gary Sexton just escapes another one.
It's really loose. Nowhere for Joshua Abbey to go.
Sexton actually gets into my auto.
Yeah. Oh, is that my... Oh, Gary Sexton also got cut of back. I didn't see that.
Yeah, there was a piece of that there for the 13.
Yeah.
It's into the door of the 36.
I just bounced off of it. Oh, yeah. Sexton took a hard hit to the outside wall, too. I worry if the toe link's broken in that car. I know Ryan Gimmel is definitely going to have multiple issues with that car as well. Joshua Abbey's got a lot, too.
If we can get an angle here on the 13 as he comes around. It looked like the toe link broke. Just a little bit of right front damage there.
I'd be worried if the splitter might be bent, so...
All the cars, Ben Baffert coming back down pit road. I'm seeing an FX4 F-150 GT on that Mustang.
Interesting one there, but I'm curious to see how much damage Baffert has. I know he's in pit road, so we'll let him get out of pit road. I know we have the driver cam with him, as Ray Massey did bring it in as well, who I believe was on older tires. He was, so yeah, he brought it in.
Yeah, a little bit of damage there on the right front.
Interesting. Golly in. It's going to be interesting. You know, how about we pull up old Ben Baffert, see how he's doing? Pole sitter. There he is. Ben Baffert, Bradley Cooper, Alec Martinez in the VSPEED booth. Got a copy?
We absolutely got a copy.
Well, buddy, you started on the pole. You led the first lap. And now a little bit of damage. So how do you expect the car to be for the rest of this race?
Thankfully, we're in the next gen and not any old damaged model car because we got about 25 seconds on the right front. So honestly, it might help later in this run when the car becomes very, very loose. But we're on a different strategy. Fell back really early trying to save some tire and it didn't work out our way. But we're all in the back right now. This goes green. I think we could be in the top 10 pretty early, but we'll be all right.
Now let me ask you. We're talking about your paint scheme here. What exactly is it? Because I know it's on a Ford.
This is an F-150.
It's an F-150 decals on a Ford
GT.
Mustang.
Yes, it is.
Interesting.
It's the Roush, the Lightning.
Roush.
Yeah,
oh yes, the Roush Lightning. I kind of forgot about that. All right. Well, we appreciate your time, Ben. Well, we appreciate your time, Ben. Good luck and go get him.
Oh yeah.
All right. That's Ben Baffert. He's a funny guy, I'll tell you. Has some interesting choices in paint schemes. Remember the Tesla a couple years ago, and then the BMW scene, and now the Ford Roush Lightning on a Ford Mustang. So
Ford Roush Lightning Raptor.
Yes,
GT. all of the things they can be.
That is something, let me tell you. Keith Mayato has worked his way up to 9th. First car on fresh tires. Then he goes Cabot, Mikulski, McGarvey. So a lot of guys that actually did pit the first time are risking it a little bit here, taking their second set, of tires. So
well, I mean, as far as stints go, these guys could probably run 40 laps.
Oh, 100%.
They could probably make it from here on out. I think they could make it in one stop.
100%, no doubt about that. So I don't think he made it all the way on fuel. I think one stopper from here, like you said. So I think it's going to be interesting to see here. I will say, though, it is going to be hard to, if we get another 10, 15 lap run, then another caution comes out. It's really going to put you in a box if you use those second set of tires on what to do. I do like the strategy that we're seeing out of this race. You know, different guys on different tire strategies. So that's going to be interesting to see. As Jeff Wright, Bailey Turner, you'll be your front row here. And the top 2 in points, might I point out as well. So going to be interesting.
What's been interesting to me is that the number 5 and the 48 have maintained throughout all of this. They've maintained. And so
they really have, yeah.
On the cycles, I think these are the 2 fastest guys out here on the racetrack right now.
Yeah, then next week's the Rockingham, the No Bull Challenge. That'll be interesting.
There you go.
That'll be fun next week. And the Gen 4 cars, that'll be fun, but still got a lot of unfinished business here to go at Chicagoland. Pace cars pull it off. Jeff Wright, Bailey Turner lead us back to green flag, back out in the air and back underway. Stack up outside lane. Now Cabot going to take him 3 wide, middle of the pack. But how? Oh, look, contact. Joshua Banks and Bailey Turner rub doors there into turn 1. Turner going to lose a couple spots here. So far, 3 wide back here, mid-pack. Cody Atkins goes back just a few. Now Mayato and Cabot, the first one on fresher tires, trying to work their way up inside the top 5.
Alan Dice there on the outside. He's got the oldest tires furthest back. And Adam Cabot makes quick work of that. Now going to push the issue on Keith Mayato to the inside of Bertie Hayes. 2 VSPEED teammates in front of him. Running on board here with the number 81 of Cody Atkins as he passes the number 5 of Dice.
And he'll get by Dice. Yeah, and here comes Noah Mikulski in the 03 car, trying to also get by both of these guys on older tires. Looks like he'll stay right behind the 81 at the back out of the gas. Careful, get out of the wake of Cody Atkins' car. Now Dice gets past. Now the battle on fresh tires, the battle for 6th. Adam Cabot on the outside of Keith Mayato. Mayato trying to fight back on the inside, trying to pull him back, side draft him into turn 1. But unfortunately, now Eric Hutton takes the line away from Keith Mayato. The battle for the lead heating up. Joshua Banks pulls even with Jeff Wright, trying to side draft.
Oh, car on the wall. That's Alan Dice. Alan Dice hits it hard, and we're 4 wide going into 3.
Oh, he's got a broken toe link. That car, the right front suspension is bent. And that's unfortunate for the 5 of Dice. He's having such a good night, but I believe the front suspension might be broken.
And as we said that, Jeff Wright able to hold off the 35. But they better figure it out soon, because look who's coming.
Wright loose! Wright is very loose off the corner, and now looks like Cabot's going to have a massive run on Banks and Wright, because Wright got very loose. Banks backed out of it, but unfortunately that cost them a whole lot of time, and now Adam Cabot is all over the back bumper of Wright. Wright pulls up to the outside. Cabot side draft all the way to the apron. Wright comes to side draft it back. Banks now trying to cross a bolt over Mayato, biding his time behind these 3, looking up on the middle of the track here, trying to get by Banks in the 35, the 36 of Mayato to the outside lane. He'll get the run. Trouble in the back. Cody Atkins spinning around. Oh, he's upside down.
Over his lid.
Rolling.
He caught the grass.
Cody Atkins upside down. The second flip of the evening, and the 81 car goes upside down.
I believe the grass physics caught that car.
What? 2 flips.
Yeah.
In one night, and especially at Chicagoland. I don't think I've... Yeah, he hit the grass and he just went over. Let's see
we
here.
knew it was possible. We talked about it in
loose.
Daytona, and here it is.
Yeah, he just grips the grass and goes over. Wow. Wow, that's wild. You don't really ever see that here out of... And so far, man, I'll tell you what, we got a lot of cars out of this race. We're looking like 7, 8 cars are out of this race. You can see on board at the 81, he goes upside down and then back on his lid.
That is definitely the new grass physics here on iRacing. We talked about it being a possibility at Daytona where cars were hopping across the grass. Well, here you see an example.
And oh, look at this. Jeff Wright bringing it down pit road. Cabot all by himself. Wow, Mayato brought it down pit lane. That's interesting. Stravato, Hayes. Interesting. More difference of strategies going on here. As
Mayato.
Yeah, Wright's going to get a great stop there.
Banks wasting no time as well. Mayato is going to be third out of pit road. I believe that was Bailey Turner, the third car out.
Yeah. Well, no, it goes Wright, Banks, Mayato, Turner, Hayes, Stravato, Mikulski, Hutton, then Sullivan, Vincent, Ronis, and Dice still in pit road. And actually, it's going to be Brett Baldick out at 10th there out of pit road. So Adam Cabot stays out. He's got the freshest had the freshest tires that last run of the top 5. Now he's got older tires than Yusuf Ghali, Ben Baffert, Ray Massey, Robert Gilmore, and then everybody else behind them with Wright. So this is going to definitely be interesting here even more. How about Ryan Shelton, the rookie, up in third, highest running rookie so far. Actually, 2 rookies inside the top 5 with Shelton and Massey. This is really going to shake this field up. Yusuf Ghali, like I said, we haven't really talked about him all night. Now he's in second with a little bit fresher tires than his teammate Adam Cabot. Ben Baffert, also teammates to Cabot and Ghali, and he's running 4th. Yeah, interesting to see what's going to happen here and how things shake out. Dennis Steele in 7th, having another good run so far with this strategy. Kyle McGarvey, who was involved in the first incident, is running 6th, and Massey inside the top 5. So this is going to be very interesting. This restart is definitely going to shake a lot of things up. And I'll tell you what about Cody Atkins. That car may have barrel rolled, but it looks fine. He's getting tired. He's only 3 laps down.
It's been kind of weird here with the damage model. It seems like these cars are more resilient, but they tend to do ridiculous things with the
that's the next
toe links and flipping over.
You know, these cars, the bodies, the exterior of the car, the body of these cars are very, very tough. But the insides of the cars, like the suspension components and everything, are, I mean, they're so fragile.
If you get hit the wrong way.
You blow on it and it breaks. So that's the one thing. If they beefed up the suspensions in real life, these cars would be absolutely amazing. Like, you could hit the wall and keep on going. But I remember when these cars first came out, they were way, way too strong. You'd hit the wall and it'd be a concussion. So they have made these cars a little bit better in terms of safety-wise. But, yeah.
Well, doubling back up here, Adam Cabot, Yusuf Ghali, Ryan Shelton, Ben Baffert, and Ray Massey, the top 5. Then it goes Kyle McGarvey, Dennis Steele, Jeff Wright, the first car on new fresh tires. Mayato and Joshua Banks, all on fresh tires as well. So I'm going to venture to say we're going to see more of the same. That's a big difference, about 15 laps on the tires for some of these guys. Cabot, 17 laps on his stint. Yusuf Ghali, 11 laps, a little bit fresher tires. I don't think that these guys will be as much of a jump versus Jeff Wright that's, brand new.
Wright's going to have an advantage, but they're not going to have as much of an advantage as they had the last time, because last time there was about 15, 16 laps of green flag racing on the tires. This time it was only about maybe eight or 9 laps on these tires. So it's going to be less of an advantage. These guys with track position are going to be looking good, but they're going to be able to keep it. The question is that tire advantage going to mean that much here as the pace car will pull off, make a hard left-hand turn into pit road. Cabot, Ghali, front row, Cabot, great restart. Ghali able to keep sort of with him. Then Shelton, Baffert still side by side. Now the mid-pack is going to get where it gets a little wild and crazy. Wright trying to make moves. Now Steele in the middle of 3 wide here with Mayato and
4 wide.
Wright's everything runs 4 wide now as Steele falling rapidly through the pack. Here again, McGarvey makes a little contact there with Joshua Banks. Steele makes contact with Stravato. Everybody gets it going once again. And everybody gets it going here again. Banks lining up the racetrack into the door of Bailey Turner. He's still on him. They're making him make a little more contact. Wright puts Shelton into the wall. And man, oh man, are they making moves here at the front.
That's what old tires to new tires looks like. These guys get such a run, and they scrub up the racetrack. Here's the 42 of McGarvey stuck in the middle again.
Oh my goodness.
Bailey Turner to the inside. Bill Mikowski now all over the back bumper.
Yeah, they're going to use different lines here as Wright and Mayato still battling side by side here. That's for the 6th initiative, and the first car is on new tires. They're side drafting each other. Here comes Brody Hayes getting a little bit of a run. These guys stalling each other out, side drafting. Now Shelton going to take the air away from the 48. He'll drift up the track. Should be able to clear Keith Mayato here is what it looks like he will. Now Mayato side by side with his teammate Brody Hayes. That's for 7th on the racetrack here. As so far the top 5 slowly but surely scooting away, and now right underneath Brian Shelton is behind them. Brody Hayes drifted up into the door of his teammate Keith Mayato. They get it back going again on board with Brody Hayes. Here comes Bailey Turner to the outside and Joshua Banks looking for the spot as well.
3 wide as they come out of turns 1 and 2, and Bailey Turner slides right up in front of Joshua Banks to hold that position.
I love the racing this next gen puts on these 1.5 miles, so entertaining. As Banks all the way up on the outside, slipping and sliding around as Brody Hayes to his inside. Now Turner gets faked out there. He'll look to the outside of Shelton, try to pull him back side draft. That number 99 of Ryan Shelton. Shelton loses another spot to Bailey Turner, and he might lose another one to Joshua Banks, and maybe a 3rd spot to Brody Hayes. Hayes looking to his outside now. McCulsey going to give Hayes a shove down the backstretch, trying to trade by the 99 on old tires. Battle for the lead though. Yusuf Ghali pressuring Adam Cabot just a little bit. They're trying to run away for the 48 of Jeff Wright.
I mean, Jeff's back there about 1.2 seconds. It's going to be a minute before the 48 can catch up, and you said 8-9 laps. It's not as much of an advantage. It will take a while for the 48 car to catch up there. Ben Baffert, how about that? With the damage getting repaired, still running in 3rd position here tonight.
Yeah, that car's fast. That car's got a lot of speed in it. As he won the pole, and he's showing why he won the pole. He's up in the 3rd. Ray Massey having a good run in 4th. Behind them, the battle for 6th is going on. Bailey Turner trying to get by Keith Mayato in the 36 car. Turner's been trying to work him over for about a lap. He just hasn't been able to find a way to go by him. Joshua Banks has also been trying to get by both of them at the same time. And while these two are racing, they're allowing Jeff Wright to kind of pull away as Turner aggressive side drafting into turn number 3. He'll drift up the track just a little bit, allows Banks to close up just a little bit more. Banks, unfortunately, going to lose the nose in dirty air. And now this allows Hayes to get a little bit of a run as well. And these top 2 in this 5th and 6th battle still going on side by side. Again, they're letting Jeff Wright run away from him. They got to get it sorted out soon here. Banks, I know, wants to get by both of them. He's a little impatient at the moment. Hayes and Mikulski. Mikulski having a good run here tonight as well. Running in 10th, now looking on 9th here.
So Brody Hayes and Mikulski patiently waiting for Banks and Turner to figure it out because they're losing ground. You see the gap in front of Keith Mayato is getting bigger and bigger.
Ghali looking for the lead on Cabot here. Cabot on the outside lane, Ghali on the inside lane. Ghali's going to take the lead. Cabot gives him a big shove down the backstretch, and the Vance 54 car to the lead. In his first laps of the season, Ben Baffert right behind them, then Massey going to be under pressure from Jeff Wright here pretty dang soon, and here comes Wright to the inside.
So pass for the 4th position. Jeff Wright back to the top 4, top 5, and he's almost there to the leaders.
The top 3 are teammates, might I point that out, so we might see a little bit of these guys trying to hold up the 48 or right, make sure one of the team cars wins. Banks now underneath Mayato. They've been contacted to turn 3. Mayato been one tough customer to pass here. Looks like of all of them, Noah Mikulski's been able to pick his way through these guys slowly but surely. Banks is trying to find a way to get around Keith Mayato. He's going to send it into the corner, but Mayato is being relentless. He is not giving up the positions.
On board here with the 03 again. The full VR setup, and I've yet to try it on iRacing. I feel like it would probably make me nauseous.
Probably not great. It's interesting. I personally never tried it. I don't know if it'd be my style, but hey, I respect it, man. Sometimes you make it a little more interesting, make it a little more fun for yourself. As you can see, Joshua Banks trying to get around, trying to find a way to get around the 36 of Keith Mayato, but Mayato, man, he just can't, they can't get around him here. They might have a chance when Mayato runs up into the dirty air of Ray Massey here up ahead, who's on older tires and sliding around just a little bit more than these guys are. Jeff Wright has right up on the leaders, but Adam Cabot looking back to get the lead here from his teammate for the lead.
Side by side into 1 and 2,
Wright.
and Cabot all the way up the track. He's been running that high line pretty consistently here at Chicago. He's going to get the pass for the lead.
Oh,
Ben
man.
Baffert now.
Big moment out of Joshua Banks. That's going to allow Keith Mayato to scoot away, as well as Noah Mikulski to get another spot. Oh, man.
Mikulski gets loose off of 4 and slides. He does lose the spot to Banks and Hayes.
And Jeff Wright able to get by Baffert, now trying to get by Yusuf Ghali for second. This is where it gets good. Ghali going to pinch him down off the corner. Oh, Wright just had contact. Contact between Ghali and Wright. They get it all straight. No harm, no foul for the 48. Baffert's starting to fall off just a little bit. Oh, Wright not too happy. Going to try to take the air off of the 54, loosen him up. Now, right down to the inside of the 54 of Yusuf Ghali. Can he get second away?
He almost had
Wright
it down the backstretch.
He should get second here off the corner. He might even pull even with Cabot. Oh, he gets so loose off the corner. And he's going to get second away from Ghali. Now, can he get the lead away from Cabot? Cabot with clean air, but the oldest tire so far in the top 10. So he's really going to have to hold on and hold off Jeff Wright if he wants to have any chance at him. Keith Mayato has separated himself away from Brody Hayes, Joshua Banks.
On board here with the 5 of Dice. He's back in the 19th position after hitting the outside wall. Having some issues there.
Yeah.
Started up in 7th position. He was running in the top 3. Oh, he's getting loose.
Oh boy, he's really loose, and I'll tell you what, you know, starting to make his way up to the field as well. The Italian stallion of AJ Stravato battling side by side with his teammate Bailey Turner, getting some help from Noah Mikulski down the front stretch. You look down to the inside, won't be able to do anything on the inside because that outside lane carries so much momentum.
Gets loose.
Oh, that's going to hurt his momentum. He'll fall back another position, and Mikulski, and back to 10th, goes to 33 of Stravato. This battle for the lead is heating up. Wright has tried a couple things to get by the 17 of Cabot. He's just kind of stuck in that dirty air, that arrow wash from the number 17 Atlas Chevrolet. I'll tell you what, though, as he blinks out for just a second, and now he's back on the racetrack. You know who's caught them is Keith Mayato. Mayato, all that time he's getting past, probably saving his tires. He's working his way up here. He's right under the back bumper of Ben Baffert.
So Baffert gonna fall back a little bit more. He was up in the 3rd spot a moment ago. Now in 4th, might go back to 5th. Mayato has about 9 lap pressure tires, and we saw what that meant in the first stint.
And here comes Ghali to the inside of Wright here. Gets some clean air to the nose. Just won't be able to do anything. Oh, Wright almost up into the outside wall. And I'm noticing these guys are all starting to move up and migrate to the outside of this racetrack. The outside line is starting to find that grip for this long run. As Ghali now to the inside of Jeff Wright. Wright, I'm also noticing the tires are really starting to equal out here. Even though they're fresher, they're just not able to do anything here. As now Ghali pulls even, gonna side draft the 48, and that has allowed Keith Mayato to close up. Outside so much better in 1 and 2, but now they're going to be side by side once again. Ghali pretty much dooring the 48 to side draft. Now Mayato going to get a massive run down this backstretch with these two punching a big hole in the air. Mayato going to get clean air to the bottom. Going to get right on the back of Ghali, loosen him up. Ghali up the racetrack. Now here comes Keith Mayato to the inside. Baffert following right behind.
The Baffert going to get the position. Ghali loses 3 spots as they work their way through 1 and 2.
And Baffert lost the nose in the wake of the 36. Ghali should be able to keep 4th here, give Keith Mayato a push down the backstretch. Now the question is, can Cabot, he's got that clean air, he He is keeping that clean air. Oh, my auto really loose on board of them. Gets loose again. Now he's going to lose those 2 spots back.
All that work and gets really loose off of 4.
And that's what Jeff Wright wants to see.
I know it's what Cabot wants to see. He's been able to maintain this lead now for about 10 laps.
And finally, Joshua Banks has been able to get by Brody Hayes, and now Bailey Turner's trying to work by him. That's for the 7th position. Banks up to 6th. Bailey Turner looking for 7th on Hayes, as Banks able to clear the 10 finally for about the first time. Trying to get by in 30 laps ago, but just falling off a little. Turner seems to have some pace in that Celsius car, as he's still battling side by side with Hayes.
Oh,
Hayes now looks to the outside. Ooh. And Hutton on older
really
tires.
loose coming off of 4. He's struggling here.
Yeah, just not liking the handling in that Yeti 88 car.
We're watching back here outside the top 10. These guys very spread out, but I saw Eric Hutton almost lose control of that coming off of 4.
Impressed with the guys on older tires, how they're able to keep out this long. And remember, they got 40 laps of tires in total, maybe about 30-something laps of tires life, I should say, in general, where these guys on newer tires have about 20-something laps of green flag pace. And unfortunately, Gary Sexton going to go a lap down. He'll be the first car lap down in case of a caution coming out, which is possible for this longer run, as the top 2 now have kind of separated themselves.
So with the practice and all the different scenarios that we saw here tonight, the change to the setup to start this race out, Adam Cabot, it took him a few laps, but he figured it out, starting all the way back in 16th position.
And here comes Wright to the inside lane. Going to get that clean air here, as it looks like Baffert going to get by Golly for 3rd. Golly really loose with the lap car of Sexton. But here for the lead, it's going to look interesting now. Wright going to try to get some clean air to the nose of that 17, or to the 48 car. He'll get right into the wake. Oh, he had trouble making a shaft. He's spinning in pit road, but the leaders battling side by side here. Right now, down to the inside lane of Adam Cabot. Cabot going to run him tight. Wright going to try the slide job move into turn number 1. Can he get the run off the corner? Cabot momentum on the outside lane, but he gets loose. Jeff Wright to the lead. Keep my eye getting held up here by one of the lap cars. And Joshua Banks is going to get by for 5th. And Jeff Wright's got the lead. He should be able to start pulling away with those fresher tires. As Alan Dice is in the grass. Oh, he just lost, and caution! Caution on the racetrack! It's Alan Dice. The 5 car has gone around, caution.
Brody Hayes is out.
Brody Hayes is in the wall. Oh yeah, Brody Hayes up against the outside wall. I'm curious to see what happened. Oh, he got contact with the lap car. Let's see. Battling with Travato. Oh, yeah, contact with the lap car of Gary Sexton. And hard up into the outside wall goes Brody Hayes. And that's going to be race over for the Tanny. You see missing their left or right front fender. Most likely a Ben Tony. Yeah, caution comes out. Unfortunately, Ryan Shelton was pitting. And, yeah.
So bringing it out pit road, Jeff Wright going to lead him in. Adam Cabot, Ben Baffert, Yusuf Ghali, Joshua Banks, the top 5.
That's leaving 19 cars on the lead lap, I believe.
This is going to be cutting it close with fuel, though.
Yeah.
I think lap 80 is really the window.
It's going to be close here. Maybe 42, 43 laps here as everybody bringing it down pit road here, getting service to their race cars. As Jeff Wright able to lead a couple laps here. Ben Baffert in pit road, Yusuf Ghali in pit road, Noah Mikulski. Ghali, decent pit stop there from the 54 crew. Good pit stop from the 17 crew, and I think the 17 crew might have got him out in front. Oh, Ben Baffert with the stop and a half to the lead, I think, for the 23.
Jeff Wright wins it.
Or did Wright get it off of pit road?
Yep, Jeff Wright won that
He did.
battle off of pit
No,
road.
he didn't. Ben Baffert got it.
Let's go back and watch the
Wow.
instant replay here.
And that, my friends, is why qualifying on the pole is quite an advantage. Wow, great stop from the 23 crew, and that first pit stall is what's ultimately going to win them the race off of pit road. Baffert from third to first off of pit road. Then it goes Wright, Cabot, Gawley, Banks. Top 5, Mayato, Turner, Massey, Stravato, and Mikulski, the top 10. And oh boy, is this going to make this race interesting. We know fuel mileage, a guy that likes fuel mileage, Bailey Turner. We've seen him win a couple races on fuel mileage. Is it possible that he can do it once again and get that second win of the season? And while we're pacing, how about we pull up Jeff Wright? See if I can find him first. There we go. I have to dial him up here. Jeff Wright, Bradley Cooper, Alec Martinez in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, driver.
Well, buddy, we heard you say you love Chicago. You're looking really fast right now. You got a really good race car. How do you feel for these final 40 laps?
Yeah, we only got one set of tires left, so I feel like, depending on how these cautions fall the rest of the way could determine how this thing unfolds for us. So I think we're okay. I mean, we still got, like I said, one set, 40-ish laps left, so I'm just hoping that that doesn't come back to bite us. So, but I feel pretty good. Wasn't really sure what to expect with this car coming to Chicago, but it's not the Gen 4 car, I'll tell you that much. Quite a bit different, but so far I feel like we got a fairly good grip on it. Car is just really unpredictable. It can handle one way, one lap, and another way the next. So it's crazy out there, but we're going to try to bring home the W.
For sure. Well, I got to ask you, Jeff, do you know of anybody that might have 2 sets laying in the pits that can play strategy here?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think there's a couple of them, though, that have that extra 2 sets. I'm not sure. So trying to, just do everything we can to put ourselves in a good position to have a chance here. And, hopefully that only having one set of tires left doesn't come back to bite us here. So, but looks like we're getting ready to go green here, driver.
Well, we appreciate your time, Jeff. Good luck, and go get him.
All right, thanks, Alec.
All right, thank you. Jeff Wright, 48 car, having himself a good run, has led the most laps here tonight so far, but the pole sitter has back to the lead, and that's been Baffert. So we go Baffert, Wright, front row, Gawley, Cabot, second row, and then third row with Banks and Mayato. Koch, so he's actually made his lap back, so he's good. So now, with that caution coming out, 20 cars on the lead lap. Gary Sexton, first car lap down. Cody Atkins, second car lap down. So 2 cars trapped, 1 lap down. Max Koch, 2 laps down. Brody Hayes now 3 laps down, but possibly getting damage fixed. Might go a couple laps down here, maybe multiple. Ostrowski, appreciate him being a trooper, as well as Faircloth, who was upside down early in this. How about Cody Atkins? He was also upside down, and he's only 1 lap down.
Yeah, the 81 able to get back out on the racetrack and salvage this day. Check him out. He's coming back up to speed. That car, pretty minimal damage on it. So, but as we come off of turn 4, on lap 81, we're going to take the green flag in the fuel window here. We talked to Jeff Wright. We talked to Ben Baffert. Let's see what we got here for the next remaining laps. 40 to go at the line.
Wright did not get the juice up, but luckily he got a good push from Yusuf Ghali. Now no even with Adam Cabot, who drifts up the racetrack just a little bit. He should be able to clear. No, he won't. Oh, Ghali, he loses the nose in dirty air behind the wake of the 48. Now that allows Banks and Turner to get by, but side by side for second between Cabot and Wright. Cabot drifts up the racetrack, forces Wright up the racetrack. Here comes Banks with the run.
That crossover there by Jeff Wright, almost not clear, but he comes down in front of the 17 just enough, just in time. And now Banks going to the inside in 1 and 2, trying to take away the 3rd spot from Cabot.
Cabot using the
And contact.
Big contact there, door banging between Banks and Cabot. Cabot able to get 3rd away still, but Banks fighting once again on the inside lane. Yusuf Ghali right behind them, trying to split the middle. Won't be able to. He'll try to push his teammate Adam Cabot. Banks now to the inside of Cabot. Now Bailey Turner breaks away to the inside.
Turner just able to get the nose in there off of 4, and that kept the 54 from getting to the rear end. They're going to be almost 3 wide with Cabot running that high line.
Oh man, Cabot with the momentum on the outside lane. He'll cross over Banks for 3rd. Golly right behind Cabot and Banks. Banks up the racetrack, just fishtails a little bit. Won't be able to keep the spot. Golly and Turner going at it down the front stretch. Golly's shutting the front door on Bailey Turner. Turner's not going to like that. And now there's contact for third between Banks and Cabot. Now here comes Golly up to the middle of the line of the racetrack, trying to split them 3 wide. Banks hits the outside wall. Golly up to the middle.
3 wide down the back stretch, and the 35 did tag the wall coming out of 2. He's going to back out of it and let the 54 go by. Now Bailey Turner back into the picture. Checking it back here, the 29 of Angelo Horonis is starting to pick up the places. He passed the 46, now working on the 42, trying to get back into the top 10. That's Angelo Horonis.
Man, Horonis led the first, I believe, 22, 23 laps of this race. But now he's starting to just get those spots back on it. In one of the incidents, that car has been repaired, and it's starting to run back to where it was. He's worked his way up to 12th. The top 5, single file. Ben Baffert leading him off of turn 4. Jeff Wright second. Yusuf Golly, Joshua Banks, and Adam Cabot top 5. This is the battle for 7th on your screen. Keith Mayato, AJ Stravada, they always seem to be by each other. And Noah Mikulski having himself a great run in this next-gen car. The 03 to the inside of the 36, Stravada to 7th. Now Mikulski looking for 8th on Mayato. Ray Massey and Eric Hutton 10th and 11th behind these two, as Mikulski trying to side back that 36.
The 03 of Mikulski also having a very solid day, and he's been a top 10 contender. We saw it a lot last season, where he just had consistent top 10s all season long.
Up in front, battle for the lead. Jeff Wright's there. Jeff Wright to the outside lead. Can Baffert cover him? No, he can't. Wright side drafting down the front
stretch. He sure tried.
Oh, the back stretch, yeah, battle for the lead. Oh, Wright looks like he's going to blink out there. No, now he's back. Baffert fighting on the inside lane. He won't be able to do it. Here comes Yusuf Golly in the 54 car to the outside. Trying to go to the outside of his teammate Baffert. He will. Now the two side by side. Banks in right behind them in 4th. Can they find a way around Jeff Wright? Golly to the middle of the racetrack. He'll pull even with Jeff Wright. There's a little bit of contact behind them between Cabot and Banks. Baffert trying to get in line. He can't.
Not able to hold on to it. Banks is gonna, Cabot and Banks have made contact at least 4 times in this run.
Yeah. Banks has got a lot of tire marks on that race car if they were able to render into this game. He'd have a lot. As for the lead, Jeff Wright back to the point. More of a comfortable sight for the 48, but Golly, man, rolls that center of the corner. Look at the 54, closing up to the back bumper. Now it's to the inside. Golly and Wright side by side. They lean on each other down the back stretch into turn 3. Golly sends it into turn 3. He'll get the lead from Wright.
Just able to edge it out. Nice side draft right into the wall. A little tag there. I think he's going to be okay, though.
And how about Yusuf Golly in the 54 to the lead, looking for his first win of the season and his first win since Phoenix last year.
Big run for Wright here down the backstretch.
Oh, Golly shuts the door, but Wright crosses over underneath the 54. Can Wright get the spot back into turn 3? The 48 sends it into the corner. The 54 on his door. They door bang just a little bit. Wright loose on the inside. Golly on the outside. Golly trying to pull him back. Wright side drafting. They make more contact down the front stretch. Now here comes Joshua Banks. And
all the way through this run, I think they're 5-way battle here for the lead.
Look at this now. Golly and Wright make more contact down the backstretch. Banks with a massive run. Cabot closing in as well. Wright sends it into turn number 3. Golly on the outside. Wright able to clear, but Golly fights back. Golly now pulls even to the quarter panel. Wright all the way to the apron. He knocks it loose. Even for the lead. They go into turn 1 again.
Contact here off of 2. Locking doors.
They lean on each other again. Look at this side by side. Adam Cabot has cleared Joshua Banks for 3rd. Now Baffert side by side for 4th. But the battle for the lead still continuing. Wright's loose right on the apron. Golly got loose as well, but they're still side by side. And here comes the Magic Man taking him 3 wide. Right now in the middle of 3 wide. Cabot takes the lead. Wright's loose right up the racetrack. Golly crosses him over, and look at this! Right up into the
Oh,
outside wall!
Wright's crashing!
Right into Bafford! They both crashed down the backstretch! And Jeff Wright, the dominant car of the day, outside into the outside wall! And Ben Bafford, the pole sitter, also caught up in it. Bailey Turner with heavy front end damage. And two fast cars get taken out.
We saw that brewing up. I mean, it's just so many laps of that
man, that was some
happening.
good racing. And Ben Bafford and Jeff Wright are taking each other out under caution. And Jeff Wright is spinning around. Ooh, I don't know if people are gonna like. I don't know if officials are gonna like that. Jeff Wright and Ben Bafford not happy with each other. See, Wright got loose, drifts up the racetrack. He gets in. He just got loose and lost it. And Ben Bafford gets in it. He gets clipped by the 48, and then Bailey Turner gets a piece of it as well. I'm curious to see how much damage the 24 has. The 48's got a lot now, especially after damage with the 23. I don't think the 23 car is going to see too many more laps here tonight. But man, that was great battling for the lead there between Golly and Wright, and then Jeff just lost it there. A rare mistake out of Jeff Wright, but we talk about how difficult these cars are to drive, and right there, that's a good driver just losing a little bit too much, trying to get a little bit too much out of that car and going around. And then Ben Bafford gets caught up in it. Wow. Great racing, but an unfortunate outcome right there between the top four.
Then later on here, you're going to see some more fireworks, and I don't know if Jeff thought that the 23 got into him here.
Wow, wow, that looked like Jeff Wright. Was that Jeff Wright that came down first?
No, I think.
Or was that Bafford weaved up and then Wright came down?
Bafford went up and cut him off. I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't think Wright was too happy with that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's dangerous from Bafford doing that with traffic coming, and then these two wrecking each other under caution. It's really unacceptable when there's other cars on the racetrack. I get they're upset. I know they're battling for the win, but you can't do that with oncoming traffic there. If you get somebody else involved and ruin their night because you guys are upset at each other, I don't think there's any reason for that. Unfortunately, Jeff Wright and Ben Bafford are probably going to be done here for the evening. And how about this on that last set of pit stops? Joshua Banks, a blazing pit stop, 14 seconds. And it gets Banks the lead, Golly second, Turner third, Stravato fourth, and then Adam Cabot. But that's your top five. As well, we're under caution. We might as well. We're going to have 25 laps to go. Let's go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back from Chicagoland with the restart.
Sailor Tarot Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader, known as the Nurturing Reader at New Jersey Street Fairs. You can also check out our YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as our Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.
Back here live, BTDY Racing League taking the green flag back here at Chicagoland. And the 35 of Joshua Banks now taking over the lead after Jeff Wright and the 23 of Bafford, the 54 of Golly, all get kind of involved there. Cabot was on the outside. The inside was loose. It was no one's fault in particular, just the car very hard to handle.
A racing deal, if you so will, but Joshua Banks loving what he's seeing behind them. Golly and Turner almost making contact off the corner. Side by side, these two seem to be getting into it. Golly and Turner not too happy with each other on the radio. Now here comes Cabot looking for third. How about this? Keith Maiano and the Italian stallion AJ Stravato up inside the top 5. How about Eric Hutton and Noah Mikulski also showing up into the picture?
The 3 of Mikulski has been really fast, maintaining the top 10 here tonight. And Ray Massey, also an impressive drive from him in the 32.
And Mackey, the highest running rookie in the field so far. Angelo Rones having a heck of a comeback so far tonight. Battle for the lead, for the win possibly. Joshua Banks and Yusuf Ghali looking for their first wins since the last season here at Chicago for the first wins of the season. Bailey Turner, the Daytona winner, closing up. Ghali side drafting the 35 car of Banks. Banks gonna run him tight into turn 3. Ghali gonna drift up the racetrack just a little bit. Ghali uses the door. Banks up the racetrack. And now, side by side for the lead, Bailey Turner with a massive run behind them. And trouble down the front stretch. Kyle McGarvey into the wall.
Single car spin here. Doesn't look like anybody else got involved with it.
Like you might have got a little help. We'll take a look at the replay here in just a second here. Looks like battling here with the rookie Ryan Shelton in the 99 car. Hard racing here. You got about 20 laps to go. And then here we go into the off of turn number 4 here. Closes up on the exit, and it looks like Shelton just misjudges it. And gets into the 42's left rear and spins him around.
The 42 hit the wall. I don't think the 42 touched it. He did?
I think he got a little bit of front end damage. I think he hit it square. Looked like he hit it. I don't know if it was too hard of a hit. Should be recoverable, but he got a little bit of the wall there with the front end.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought he was able to loop it around and hold it.
That would have been very impressive.
He did do an impressive job, though, to hold and lock up those brakes and not slide down into anybody else.
Yeah. As the, what is this, our 6th caution of the evening?
I believe so.
Let's get a race recap here. Yeah. Oh, 7th caution of the night. How about that? 14 lead changes here from the Chicagoland Speedway. Chicagoland never fails to put on a show. Yusuf Ghali and, oh wow, Adam Cabot.
Maybe he was one of those drivers that had that extra set.
I don't think there was enough laps. I mean, what was that, 5 laps?
I don't know.
That's a call. I mean, it's a call. I mean, he could get away with it. He's pretty high in points, but
maybe they're thinking if they don't take him now, they're not going to get to use him.
I think that's a very realistic possibility, but I think we're going to see a lot more harder racing here for the lead. I can for sure see an incident. And what did I tell you, Adam? Or, excuse me, Bradley? I told you, these cars put on a heck of a show on these kinds of tracks. I know on the short tracks they'd be struggling, but on these mile-and-a-halfs, man, these cars put on a heck of a show, and especially at a track like Chicagoland, man, there's just nothing better than the show. Look at that, 14 lead changes here tonight. That's pretty dang good. And that's just at the line. I think we have a couple more just racing by themselves here. So, just, I love seeing it, man. That's what we like to see.
Looks like the track's cooled off a little bit, too. It's 113 to start this race, down to 94 degrees. And then the cautions, kind of breathing cautions, has helped this track tame down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, we've seen great racing, and last weekend we saw great racing.
Yes, we did.
At the same track in the Gen 4, so we're kind of getting spoiled here at VSPEED.
I know, it just maybe shows that Chicagoland should maybe be on the Cup schedule. But
yeah, I think this is a pretty good protest in the fact that we're racing road courses in Chicago.
Yeah, apparently we need a street course. I don't hate it. I think it was an interesting idea. I didn't hate the race. I thought it was actually not better than I thought. But missing this track on the schedule is definitely interesting. I wish we had this track back on the schedule. Here, Iowa, those are tracks that I think deserve a cup date just because of the way the tracks race. And I
have good news for you. I've talked to. Do you know a name called Nick Gardner?
I do know a name. I do know a man named Nick Gardner. I do know.
So, confirming that a good possibility of going back to Auto Club from the man.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
also,
they're not tearing it down, or what's going on here?
I'm not really sure, but I also know that they're coming back to Chicagoland in 2025. That's the projected.
Oh,
Nick
thank
Gardner
God.
as well. So there's a lot in the works.
We're coming back to Auto Club.
That's my private source, but
yeah, I have heard about Chicagoland coming back. I did not know. I don't know. I hope Auto Club comes back. It's my home track, but what do you think? What are they thinking there? 25? And I know they want it to be a short track, so.
I don't know. I know
We'll
there's a
find
lot
out.
of racetracks that have been revived over the years. You see Wilkesboro come back, but then you see tracks like Auto Club that should stay on the schedule, should have no problem, and
I agree 100%.
they disappear.
Yeah, and for those asking, is Eddie Smith here? Eddie Smith, love Eddie. He's good to have, but he's not here, unfortunately. He's, I think, broadcasting on the VSPEED Racing Network. I think it's the MPI Xfinity Series. So, yeah. But if you want to go watching as well, if you're enjoying this race, appreciate y'all watching here tonight. And remember to give a like to this video and subscribe if you're enjoying what you're seeing. And subscribe to all of this VSPEED Racing Network channel. Subscribe to VSPEED Racing Network here on VSPEED as well as VSPEED 2. Because boy, oh boy, do we have some great series coming up throughout the next few weeks. Because man, is it awesome to watch these guys.
Whoops. Hit the wrong button there. Problems with it. Okay. We just won't touch that anymore.
Yeah, oh boy, here we go. As field will be in the hands of Joshua Banks and Yusuf Ghali, both looking for their first win this season. Ghali's last win came last year at Phoenix. Banks' last win came last year in the season opener at Daytona. These guys have not won a race in quite some time, a couple months, if you so will. As into the Geico restart zone they go. Green flag, back out in the air, back underway. Banks, really good start, now even between second and third, but Banks doesn't seem to get going with the shift. And now Turner's going to close up here for second. He's going to get second.
He takes over the position over Yusuf Ghali, and you watch Ghali and it's a good crossover, but you watch Ghali and Banks go at it. Now it's going to be Turner and Ghali.
Oh, and Ghali with the send to the inside. He should be able to clear the 24 Turner. He will. Ghali slides up the racetrack. Banks has to run away now. Now, side by side for third between Turner and Mayato. Mayato with the apron here. He'll use that bottom lane. He'll pull even with Turner, side drafting down the front stretch. Now Ghali looking for the lead over on Banks.
Climbing to the bottom. They're going to be side by side down the back stretch and more of the same.
And I just missed the quarter panel there. Banks going to have to defend for his life. Coming to 14 laps to go. This time by third is up for grabs between Mayato and Turner. And how about Eric Hutton up inside the top 5?
Hutton just turned on the rocket ship, and we've seen this from the 88 every season. We see the 88 just creep his way up there into the top 5 in the closing laps.
Oh, Banks throwing a block on Ghali here for the lead. Ghali's going to have to back out of it. Banks misses the corner. This should allow Ghali to get to the inside of the 35. Banks slides up the racetrack. Ghali comes down to the inside. Here comes Bailey Turner to the outside. Banks goes to block. Turner turns him. Banks into the outside wall. Banks hard up into the wall. And Banks heavy damage to the right side car, and a heavy hit to the outside wall for Banks and a big toe link. Yeah, that was an aggressive block. And
it was a little too late there.
Yeah. And Bailey Turner's not lifting. It's a battle for the win, but yeah, hard hit for Banks. I hate that for Josh. He had a really good car, and unfortunately he's going to have nothing to show for it as Bailey Turner now up to second. And now Yusuf Ghali is driving away, but here comes Heath Mayato to second, looking for second on Turner. He'll get it. Mayato to second. Now Eric Hutton in fourth, but the battle for fifth also going on between Mikulski and Stravato. Stravato gets the spot there. Massey getting by Mikulski, and here comes Ronis as well, following in line with the 32. But the battle for the lead gonna heat up. Can Keith Mayato have anything for Yusuf Ghali? Bailey Turner gonna try to push Mayato up to the 54. 10 laps to go.
Sitting right in that wake for the 36, that dirty air all the way down on the bottom. We haven't seen anybody running the Cabot line since the 17 has fallen back. He's around the outside of this racetrack, pretty much all the way around it.
And up here at the front, Adam Cabot with 5-lap fresher tires is stuck and trapped in 9th. How about Jeff Wright has rallied back up to 10th? The 48 car still not outside of the picture for possibly a top 10 or top 5 run. Now Stravato underneath Eric Hutton for what is going to be the 4th position. Stravato, the Italian side, he's been quiet all night. Same with Eric Hutton. They've both been quiet all night, but now having top 5 runs, consistency is the name of the game in the BTDY Racing Series. Up at the front, Ghali now a 3-car length lead over Keith Mayato. Mayato just slowly but surely fading back.
Mayato had the speed to get around Bailey Turner.
Double Jacker, Jeremiah Vincent's around in the backstretch. Caution's out.
7 laps to go, and the caution does come out. That's going to be the 8th one of tonight.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and the caution's going to come out, which should set us up for about a 2 or 3 lap shootout here, as it seems like our 8th caution comes out for the evening. Jeremiah Vincent, Ryan Shelton. Oh.
No contact there with the 13.
Yeah, with Gary Sexton kept drifting up here. And then battling down the backstretch, and ooh, interesting. I don't know about that. That's interesting.
I mean,
Oh, Joshua Banks is driving up to the field, boys. Joshua Banks is not happy. Joshua Banks is not happy. Joshua Banks is not happy. Get a camera on him. He was chasing the 24 car. And he has left, I believe, I'm afraid, yeah. And Banks is gone. He did chase Turner, and he did give him a little bit of a door.
He was completely ejected from this session, I believe.
He probably was. Yeah, he was.
Can we go back on the 24?
Yeah, you probably could. Yeah, Banks came from like 18th all the way up to Turner. I don't know if you'll see him. You'll see him flying around cars. Yeah, here comes Banks. Banks drove up to Turner, and I believe they got rid of him there. Yeah, yep. But yeah, Banks was not happy with Bailey Turner after that incident. And it was a racing deal. It was a late block, I think.
I think Gary Sexton was bailed out right there. I want to go back and watch that. I want to go back and see what happened here between him and Vincent. So let's go. We're maybe a little too far back. They're leaning on each other right here, but I want to go on board with the 13. So this is a lap before this incident. These guys have been racing side by side for quite some time, but here it is. They're going to lean on each other into 1 and 2. And I want to go back on board here with the 13.
These guys, they're racing hard. They've been racing each other hard that entire lap. And then there's a little contact into 1. And I think that's fine. You can see these guys really wheeling the cars.
That wasn't intentional. That wasn't intentional. I wanted to see, I thought maybe a hard lefter from the 13. It looked like it, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, very interesting.
You go back and watch the telemetry on that car. I think he passes inspection. No Denny Hamlin on that one.
No, Definitely wasn't a Denny Hamlin or that one, or a Chase Elliott.
Yeah. So Yusuf Ghali takes over the lead. Keith Mayato trying to hunt him down, and it looks like some of these guys did have an extra set of tires. You've got Angelo Horonis, Dennis Steele, Jeremiah Vincent, Max Kost. So a few different drivers that brought it back down pit road. Alan Dice, who's had a worst to worst night here, all the way back in 19.
It really has been not a great night for Dice after that incident. Same with Baffert after that incident as well. And while we're here, want to give a congrats to old David Shieldhouse, who will hopefully be back next week. I know he said he was spotting for the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series. Well, his driver, Steven Wilson, is the 2023 eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series champion. So congrats to David Shieldhouse on getting himself a little piece of that history there. So congrats to David as they've lined back up, which will be for about a 3-lap shootout here.
So leading off the pack in the back here with the fresh tires. That's what's going to be interesting. It's going to be Angelo Horonis, who was up towards the front to start this race. And I think he's got a good chance of getting up here into the top 10 before this race ends, if we stay green.
Yep. This is going to be fun. Can Yusuf Ghali, Keith Mayato, looking for their first wins this season. Eric Hutton, pretty well, I mean, there's only been 2 races, and there's only been 2 different winners that have at least counted. Cabot won the Clio Clash earlier this year, but unfortunately a non-points paying event. But now, as they go, it's going to be 3 laps to go at the line. Yusuf Ghali, Keith Mayato, your front row. Turner, 3rd, Hutton, 4th. Into the restart zone they go. Ghali gets away, and a great restart from the 54. Ghali about 2-3 car lengths away, but here comes Bailey Turner as we got trouble on the front stretch. Cody Atkins is around in the grass. No caution up at the front. Bailey Turner is coming. Can he get around for his 2nd win on Yusuf Ghali?
Going to be 2 laps to go as they come out of turn 4.
Oh, Ghali's going to get away by about 2 or 3 car lengths. 2 laps to go from Chicagoland. Ghali trying to break the draft down the front stretch. Turner getting a run. Travato closing up in 3rd.
And Eric Hutton passing
Hutton's
for
there
4th
as well.
now.
And Hutton's going to get 4th, maybe even 3rd from AJ Travato. A lap and a half to go here in Chicago. Ghali in the lead. And here we go, off of turn number 4. Yusuf Ghali with the lead. 1 lap to go from Chicagoland. Turner in pursuit in 2nd. AJ Travato is in 3rd. Mayato and Hutton battle side by side for 4th. Cabot has worked his way up to 5th. Hutton gets loose. Hutton is around. Hutton gets loose and into the wall. Goes Adam Cabot. They span out the backstretch. Everybody keeps it clean and green. But off of turn number 4, the Houston, Texas driver, Yusuf Ghali, comes off of turn 4. And Ghali wins his first race of the season at Chicagoland. Yusuf Ghali starts 20th, he leads 20 laps, and he comes home for his first win of the season. The Vans 54 Toyota Camry is back in victory lane. 3 different races and 3 different winners. Bradley, what a race.
We need to go back and watch that finish. I need recap on some of this stuff because we had so much going on back here in the back of the field.
Yeah, it all started, that battle for 4th. Eric Hutton and Keith Mayato were going at it. This is with about, I think, a lap and a half to go. Oh, no, this is on the restart. I think you might want to skip a lap ahead here. Yeah, it was a lap and a half to go. I think this is with 2 to go here. And you'll see these guys, they've been battling for a couple laps. Unfortunately, I think Ray Massey got the worst end of the deal on this one, as these guys still battling side by side. And it just seemed like once the 24, oh no, it's the next lap, I should say. Hutton was clear here, and I thought he had the spot. So I thought, oh, Eric Hutton should be able to get on by, close up here. And as these 2 are still battling, this is now coming to the white flag. and you can see these two battling side by side. Golly takes the white flag, so next flag, or pretty much checkered flag ends it, and it all starts up here with these two getting together. You can see Eric cutting on the inside and Keith Mild on the outside. Travato gets right in front of the 88, takes the wake, you see the air, loses the nose, and then Cabot and Massey make heavy contact, and they all get by. Look at that American flag card. Ryan Shelton from 11th to 6th in one lap. Shelton, the rookie, comes home the highest finishing rookie in 6th, as at the line here, Cabot and Sullivan, close finish between Wright, and man, oh man, what a finish in the middle of all of this pack, as Yusuf Ghali just getting done, burning it down on the front stretch, his first win of the season. Stick around for post-race interviews where we'll talk to our top three, Yusuf Ghali, Bailey Turner, and AJ Stravato, the 54 car, burning it down on the front stretch. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break to talk to your winner, Yusuf Ghali.
Sailor Tarot Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader. Known as the nurturing reader at New Jersey street fairs, you can also check out our YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as our Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.
Sounds like our music broke, but we're back here live. BTDY Racing League Chicagoland Speedway has concluded 120 laps for 180 miles for race number 3 of the night. And we are down on pit road, catching up with your third place finisher. It's AJ Stravato, able to bring it home third. AJ, I know that it was tough here tonight. You had a pretty substantial day as far as top 10 goes, but with that last 7 laps, you were able to sneak up there and get that third place finish. And I know that you were able to avoid some guys getting loose, avoid the wrecks, and you put yourself in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, that was a pretty interesting race to say the least. I'm a little annoyed. I wish we got a longer run because I would save my stuff and, not very quick on the short run with these cars. I haven't driven them much at all, if at all, recently. So just trying to figure out the short run speed and managing how tight the setup is. But once we drove off the right rear, I was digging and I felt really good about our speed. It was just like at the worst times we would get cautions. So Between that and just a couple way guys are racing around me, I was just getting a little annoyed. But luckily, we got a couple pretty good, pretty good timed cautions. Jeff, I guess, made a mistake, which is pretty uncommon for him, and allowed us to kind of make up some points and some grounds, and just got a really good last restart right there, and really didn't have a shot at the win, to be honest. So I was just kind of try help Bailey right there if he had a run, but there wasn't really much going on right there. So just glad to bring it home third and get into good points there.
Now we talked a little bit at the pre-race about the setup getting changed. Everything seemed to be on the fly here tonight. You had to adjust. You had to do qualifying with very little practice. How much did that affect the outcome of this race? Do you think that it changed the way that this race was ran?
Well, I mean, I definitely took it. I mean, I had enough time to practice. I think if you have 10, 15 minutes on a track that most people drive, if you can't figure it out within 10 to 15 minutes, you should probably wake up, to be quite honest with you, and find it too difficult to adjust, to be quite honest with you. That if we had the first setup, you guys were not in for a good show. I'll tell you that right now. That thing drove like a goddamn dump truck, and it was the worst gearing I've ever seen. So, luckily the admins really made a really good decision on the fly, and he's a pretty good guy making some setups. I don't know who, but he does a pretty good job. So made one on
Does
the
a pretty
fly.
good job
And,
at a lot of things.
yeah, he did a pretty good job. I'd say the setup really built loose over the long run, and that's more to my style. We just never got a goddamn green flag run, so it was a little frustrating for me. But we were able to pick our way through and adjust and bring home a third place finish. So can't complain.
Well, as far as the family show goes, we've lost the chat, but Servato, great finish out there tonight. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out and thank for third place?
Nah, just all my teammates for making it a good fun race. Same Jeff had that little incident, but glad Bailey, myself, and Eric were able to run pretty well. Jeff was able to recover. All the guys at Nexus Esports for doing a hell of a job in Road to Pro. You'll see them in the Contender Series here pretty soon. See a couple guys there, and just all the league admins for doing a hell of a job. There's a lot of guys in here, I'm sure, whine and complain a lot, and they do a hell of a job managing everything. So shout out to them.
We appreciate your time, AJ, and hopefully we get to see you next week here at BTDY for week number 4.
I'll be here, brother. You have a good one.
You too. There's the third place finisher, AJ Stravato, and now we have to catch up to the number 24, who's also...
There we go.
There's Bailey Turner. He's also down here on pit road. And Bailey, just not able to get around the 54. I know that a lot of people might have been getting frustrated with how things were going. It caught the best of some people, but you guys leaning on each other, racing side by side, you're able to get back around my auto and get the second position. How fun was this racing there towards the later half of this race?
Yeah, it was quite the interesting battle there. I was worried, the tire strategy wasn't going to work out for us with all the cautions and everything. I knew Adam and those guys were coming on freshies. It was just a matter of whether they were going to have enough laps to get to us, and it's just tough, man. I felt like I was good for about 15 laps and on into the run, but prior to that, these guys just too much speed on the front end. I didn't want to kill my stuff, hoping that I would set myself up for the end. I actually let Keith go, right before that last restart, just to see if he could get to Yusuf and kind of draw him back to me a little bit, but yeah, it was tough trying to get around Yusuf there. Just there is king, and try to follow in his tire tracks, and just ended up burning my right front up. I think just a little too much, and wasn't able to get there. But really fun racing. Everything was real tight quarters, and I felt like everybody in the top 7 was super aggressive, and I know that kind of bit Banks there when he tried to block me into the wall, and he ended up wrecking. But overall, solid night, P2, good for points, and just trying to be as consistent as we can this season. It's going to be a tough battle with teammates. You got Eric Hutton up there, Jeff Wright, AJ is always lurking, and it's just it's going to be quite the battle up front.
Yeah, we have to ask for TV's sake. We saw the 35 during that caution pull up alongside of you. Do you think he was ejected from the session? I don't really know what happened there.
Yeah, I'm assuming he alt forward, but I'm not sure on that one. He drove up to me, and I told him before he ever even did that, I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do there. Like, I set him up on a run. He was a little too distracted with Yusuf, and got to his outside, and he just kept driving up like I wasn't there. So, I don't want to talk poorly about Banks. I feel like we've kind of settled a lot of our issues in the past and race each other pretty well. Pretty aggressive at times, but sometimes that can bite us. But what are you gonna do? Hopefully, next time we'll race each other a little better. And but then again, it's for the lead, so it's always tough, and you kind of got to balance that aggression versus putting yourself in a bad spot. So we'll kind of see how that goes going forward.
We saw aggression get the best of a lot of guys here tonight. We saw worst to first, first to worst, a lot of different drivers not getting the finish that they wanted tonight, but you're able to overcome all of that and get the second place. Bailey, do you have anybody you'd like to shout out and thank?
Yeah, everybody on the team over at Sad Boys and our pseudo teammates, and of course Yusuf getting the win there. I think he drove a really smart race, putting himself up front. Objectively, I mean, just kind of was the class that I feel like him and Jeff and Adam were the class of the field there. So congrats to him. Well, good job.
We appreciate your time, Bailey. We hope to talk to you next week. Week number 4 coming up. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Second place finisher here tonight, Bailey Turner. And Alec Martinez is down in victory lane. He's caught up with Yusuf Ghali in the number 54.
I have Yusuf Ghali, Bradley Cooper, Alec Martinez in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy, buddy?
I got you guys.
Well, buddy, bring her home. A winner. First win since, I believe, Phoenix last year. How does it feel to open up on race 3 with a win?
It's good to get the win this early in the season, but I am gonna have to correct you because Phoenix was my first win last season. I won 2 more races after that at
My
Bristol and
apologies.
Martinsville.
Bristol and Martinsville. My apologies. Forgot you won Martinsville. Thank you for correcting me. Now I got to ask you, it was you guys, it seemed like you, Jeff Wright, really battling hard, and then Jeff got up into the outside wall. Then you and Adam Cabot, you and Bailey Turner, Joshua Banks. It seemed like the top 5 racing very hard, close quarters racing, and a little bit of door banging to go with it as well. How was that racing up there in the middle of all that hard racing there?
I feel like with Adam and Ben, it was really respectful. They are teammates, but I felt like, especially with Jeff, there was just some moves that were a little questionable at times. But it is what it is. I wasn't the one that got wrecked by him, so if anybody's got to be mad at him, it's got to be Ben.
There was definitely a little tempers flaring there now, and I must point out you are now tied, I believe, with Bailey Turner and Jeff Wright in points, all tied at I think with 46 points or so. Now next week I got to ask something like that. Yeah, I think all 3 of you are tied. From what I'm seeing with points, I don't know if that's true or not. I do got to ask though. Next week, back in the Gen 4 car, going out to Rockingham. How do you feel about going out there and maybe possibly making it 2 in a row?
Rockingham is probably one of my least favorite tracks, so I'm not really sure how we're gonna go there. It's a lot. It's pretty similar to North Wilkesboro, which is never a track that I've been all too great in. So we're just gonna go out there and try to survive and get a top 10, maybe a top 5. But that's the outlook for the next race.
I see. Well, Yusuf, we appreciate your time. Congratulations on the win. Before I let you go, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, just all my teammates racing me good and clean. It was still hard racing with Adam there, but just clean racing, and then obviously the admins and you guys for putting on the show for us.
All right. Well, we appreciate you, Yusuf. Have a wonderful evening. Congratulations, and we'll see you next week out at Rockingham.
Thanks, guys.
All right. That's Yusuf Ghali, your winner here for tonight. Brad, let's pull up the old race results here after tonight's Sailor Tarot Magic 180 here from the Chicagoland Speedway. Man, oh man, was it a race and a half that we saw here. Chicagoland never fails to disappoint here. Our race results, 8 cautions for 15 lead changes with Yusuf Ghali starting 20th and coming home the winner, getting his first win since Martinsville of last season. Bailey Turner comes home second. AJ Stravano, the Italian stallion, third. Keith Maiato starts second, comes home fourth. How about Noah Mikulski, started 29th and comes home with the top 5. The rookie, the highest finishing rookie tonight, Ryan Shelton, 17th to 6th. Eric Hutton up in 7th. Adam Cabot, 8th. Jeff Wright, 9th. And Dallas Sullivan comes home with his top 10.
11th position will be the 44 of Brett Baldick, with 12th position being Dennis Steele, Jeremiah Vincent 13th, Kyle McGarvey 14th. Angelo Horonis will come home in 15th after leading some laps here tonight. Alan Dice, another guy that had a very great start to this race and ends up in 16th position. 17th, Gary Sexton, not a good day for him as well. Ben Bafford, the pole sitter, all the way back in 18th to finish this race. Max Koss, 19th, and Robert Gilmore will round out your top 20.
21st was Ray Massey. 22nd, Cody Atkins. Joshua Banks, who looked like he had a chance to win this race, gets caught up in a late incident in 23rd. Nathan Ostrowski, being a trooper tonight, sticking it out there, gets 24th. Dennis Faircloth landed upside down and comes home 25th. Nick Starling in 26th. Brody Hayes, 27th. Joshua Abbey, 28th. Ryan Gemmel, 29th. Jacob Locklear comes home 30th. Chris Samard and Lane Solfridge round out the field here in 31st and 32nd. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a show tonight. Congrats to Yusuf Ghali on his first win of the season. And man, Bradley, we were watching these guys utilizing all of this racetrack, watching side-by-side action, little contact here and there. Nothing better than Chicagoland Speedway. And this next gen never fails to put on a show on these bigger racetracks.
It never does, and I enjoyed this broadcast. I really did. I know that there was a little bit more cautions than we're used to here at BTDY, but overall, it was a really good show, and I think in hindsight, as we hit the wrong buttons, I broke my stream deck this week, so we're a little bit behind. But nonetheless, if you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Go check out VSPEED 2. Check out VSPEED Racing Network as well. Eddie Smith is an excellent producer, puts on a great show, and there's racing all through the week here on VSPEED. And turn on your notifications so you never miss a single race for BTDY as they go live at 8:25 Eastern Time. But for everybody at VSPEED, Adam Baker, Alec Martinez, Connor Horn, Eddie Smith, and everyone in between, this is Bradley Cooper telling you to have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you tomorrow for Bluegrass Cup Series on VSPEED. Until then, take care, everybody.
Sailor Tarot Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader. Known as the Nurturing Reader at New Jersey Street Fairs, you can also check out our YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as our Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.